Okay, so we're writing an equation for a tree graph here. So it says a student attaches one end of a rope to a wall at a fixed point 3 feet above the ground. So this 3 feet above the ground right here, I'm going to start with that being the midline because that's that fixed line. Remember, the midline is the same thing as the vertical shift. Okay? So this person moves the end of the rope up and down, producing a wave described by this equation, y equals a sine bx plus c. So if you remember back, we've got y equals a for amplitude, sine or cosine, f for frequency, x plus h for a horizontal shift, close the parentheses, and then plus v for a vertical shift, which remember we said is our midline. And if you remember Mr. Ferguson's clever way of remembering this, we've got America's Funniest Home Videos. Okay, so as we go through and look at our other information here, the range of the rope's height is between 1 and 5. So if you think about 3, it goes down to 1 and up to 5. That's giving us our amplitude. So our amplitude, remember, is the distance between the minimum and the midline, or the midline and the maximum. So our amplitude here is 2. And remember that amplitude, no matter what, is always positive. The only time you'll have a negative out front is if it's a sine graph that goes down first, or if it's a cosine graph that starts at a minimum. Okay. The next piece of information is that the period of the wave is 4 pi. Okay, so remember, we determine period by doing 2 pi divided by the frequency. We'll need the frequency to write the equation because that's what the b is representing up here. So if we know the period is 4 pi, I'm going to solve for the frequency. So I'm going to think of this like I'm cross multiplying. 4 pi times f is 4 pi f. And 1 times 2 pi is 2 pi. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4 pi to cancel that out and leave f by itself. So the pi's cancel and I have 2 over 4, which is 1/2. So now I know the frequency. So now when I go to write my equation, I've got all the pieces that I need. Okay, in the format that I'm given, I've got y equals my amplitude, which we determined is 2, sine my frequency, which we just determined was 1/2, x, and then plus my vertical shift. We don't have a horizontal shift in this case because there's nothing in parentheses with x, so my vertical shift was 3. And here is our equation.